You said that not knowing, in not knowing, there is no separation, and therefore, in not knowing, there's no separation, there is no suffering. If there is no separation, there is not suffering, right? Uh, on the other hand, many traditions state that ignorance is the cause of suffering. Is not knowing equals ignorance, or what's the difference between not knowing and ignorance? Can you talk about it, please?
So in ignorance, there is a belief that I am this person, that I am a limited personal consciousness. Sometimes in some tradition they say is soul, and the soul inside this body. In ignorance, there is the belief that I is a limited personal consciousness, a limited personal self that is born in time and space. So in ignorance, we know that consciousness is something or somebody. But when we investigate the belief that consciousness is personal, in other words, it belongs to some organism, some body mind, or is located inside a body mind, or in the brain, or behind the eyes, or that consciousness has a limitation. My consciousness is different from your consciousness, from her consciousness. When we investigate this belief, we find that there is no evidence, there is no valid reason which supports this belief. So in ignorance, we believe that we are born and that we will die, that consciousness is maybe inside the body, and that this body will die, and that consciousness will maybe travel to another body or go to this higher level, or join itself with the angel, whatever. So these are beliefs. Now, it's important, before I continue, to be clear, to define consciousness, or to define I. Consciousness is whatever it is right now that is real in your experience, whatever it is that is perceiving this perception. The perception may be a lie, maybe a dream, maybe a hallucination, but consciousness is whatever it is which is perceiving this perception, which we refer to as I commonly. We all refer to whatever it is which perceives as I perceive. That is the definition of consciousness. It is experiential. It is not just the concept. Experientially, right now in this moment, I'm perceiving this perception. I perceive. So it's important to understand that we are speaking experientially. Not only I perceive, which is experiential, but also I know that I perceive. And I know that I am, whatever that is. I know that there is something rather than nothing. I know that I is, whatever that I refers to. So all of that is experiential. What is experiential cannot be denied. I can deny, for example, that right now this perception is real, because I could have taken some drugs and I'm dreaming this perception. So I can question the image on the screen, the reality of the image on the screen, but the fact that I perceive, that is undeniable. So there is an aspect to our experience which is undeniable. So the extent to which we see through the belief that consciousness is personal and limited. In other words, the extent to which we realize that there is no valid evidence to support this belief. This belief appears less and less and has no power. It loses its grab over us, its hold over us. And the extent to which we are free from this belief, simultaneously we are free from ignorance. Because ignorance is basically the core belief that consciousness is personal and limited, that I am born and that I exist in time and space. Now, not knowing refers to not knowing what I am. So we're very specific when we use the term not knowing. We're not talking about phenomenal not knowing. Of course, I know where my car is. It's in the garage. I know Chloe, my daughter, lives in Los Angeles. So we're not talking about phenomenal knowledge. We're talking about noumenal knowledge. In ignorance, we know that we are born. And I'm saying in ignorance because in wisdom, we don't know that we are born. We know that the body is born. There is a difference between the body is born, which of course we all know, we all have the birth date, what hospital, how many pounds the baby weighed. We know the name of the baby because it's written on the birth certificate. So in wisdom, we know that the baby as a body, a form, is born, but I does not refer to the body, mind does not refer to the baby. Because if you ask yourself, where is the baby right now? Good luck. Where is the baby right now? Where is the 5-year-old boy right now? Where is the 60-year-old man right now? Whenever you're referring to the body, you're referring to something you perceive. You can perceive it as a memory. I remember when I was 12-year-old playing with my brothers, basketball or whatever. So I perceive the body as a memory, or I can perceive the body in the mirror. When I look in the mirror, I see this face. Or I can look at my hand and perceive a hand, or I can perceive a sensation. Like right now you're scratching, you perceive a sensation, it's an experience of the body. So the body is something we experience, not something we are. You perceive your car, but you are not the car. Similarly, you perceive the body, but you are not the body. So not knowing in Advaita refers to not knowing what you are. I know I am, meaning I know that there is a reality right now, whatever that is, which is I, whatever that is undeniable, because nothing can deny I. I am, and I know that I am, but I do not know what I am. Now, you talked about in the absence of knowing, in other words, in not knowing, there is no suffering. It's correct. In not knowing, there is no suffering. It's an open stage. I'm not saying there is no pain. There can be pain if you hit your toe in the chair. You're going to experience the pain of the body, but there is no suffering, because you are not defining yourself as any limited entity, as a mortal entity. Why do we define ourselves as a mortal entity, as a body-mind? Because our parents have done so, and our teachers and our grandparents. Ignorance is inherited. We inherit ignorance, and we live in ignorance, and we act out of ignorance. We kill each other, we fight with each other, we judge each other, we're judgmental with each other. Why? Because we believe we are this person and not that person. You are not me. I'm identified with this body mind. I'm identified with this tribe. I'm identified with this family, and not with that family, not with that one. So it is knowing what I am, which is the cause of separation and the cause of all conflicts. Once you are clear that I, in this moment, is the only I there is, and that this I is invisible to the senses, it is not an object which you're perceiving. It's not something that you're perceiving. As you become clearer about your reality as this formless awareness, and that this formless awareness is neither tall or short, neither female or male, neither rich or poor, neither here or there. As you get established in this understanding, as this understanding establishes itself in your experience, there is no more suffering. Depression, no more depression. Loneliness, no more loneliness. Anger, jealousy, envy, sense of lack, fear, all of that belongs to ignorance, belongs to me. The me, whatever that me is, that I feel I am, I know I am, I defend, I fight for. What is this me right now?
It's clear to me what ignorance is, but the not knowing, I'm still have difficulties, because if you say I know that I am part of that infinite, transparent reality, which is consciousness, you are knowing something, right?
No, I'm not saying I am part of the universe. I say that metaphorically. Everything that I speak, I'm speaking metaphorically to sort of point that there is no separate me. There is nothing separate. Even the body is part of the universe. So You have to hear what the message is being shared at that moment and what it's pointing to, and not to take the message and make the message make some of the statements that I'm making as being the absolute truth. The absolute truth cannot be expressed in words. Now, when I say that we are part of the universe, I am trying to point that even if you look at the body as being a bunch of molecules and atoms and gluons and that are dancing, they're not separate from the universe. It's an image, it's a metaphor. Your breath, you're breathing the universe. You inhale the universe, you exhale the universe, you're not separate. There's nothing separate. The galaxies that are a billion miles away, they're still part of that same totality. If you take the gravitation, if you take one galaxy out of the zillion galaxies, it's not possible. Where are you going to put it? The entire system will collapse. Everything is interconnected. Now, in terms of not knowing, I'm speaking about I, awareness, consciousness. In this moment, I know I am. Yes? You agree with that? I am, whatever that is. And I know that I am, whatever that is. And I know that I am aware, right? I know that there is awareness. How about that? I know that there is awareness. And this awareness is real. Maybe what's appearing is relatively real. The images of the screen, the thoughts, they have a secondary level of reality than the reality of that which perceives it. Right? Because a thought appears and disappears, the thought changes from moment to moment. But there is a reality to awareness. How do we know this reality? We know this reality experientially because we are that reality which perceives. Can we say anything more about it? Can we say that where it's located? No. Can you say where awareness is located?
No.
No. Can you say if awareness is female or male awareness?
No.
No. Can you say that awareness has, what is the density of awareness, or what is the temperature of awareness, or what is the heartbeat of awareness? No. So this is when I say not knowing, I'm referring to not knowing what awareness is, awareness, consciousness. What I know I am, but I don't know what I am. Do I know what I am? I don't know what I am. I know the body. I know this table is wooden table, brown. I know this body is a male body. Tell you the age of the body, the color of the eyes, the color of the hair. But do I know what I am? The closest you can get is I am aware. There is awareness. And I and this awareness are not two, right?
Right.
So therefore, I could say that I is awareness, right? And I could say also that awareness is real. Real meaning it neither appears nor disappears And you cannot deny that right now there is something rather than nothing. It's undeniable. You cannot deny isness. You can deny the thoughts you're having because maybe I ate something and it's affecting the thoughts that I'm having. A minute later, I have different thoughts. But you cannot deny awareness. Yes? The reality of awareness. So I know that awareness is, and I know that I is awareness. And I would say that if you investigate and you don't find any boundaries to awareness, you don't find any height to awareness, you don't find any beginning to awareness, you don't find any density to awareness, you don't find any size to awareness. You could be open to the possibility that given there are no phenomenal attributes to awareness, given there are no phenomenal limitations that can be imposed upon awareness, you can be open to the possibility that awareness is universal. Until proven otherwise. Until proven otherwise. Meaning that my reality, what I truly am, not what I imagine myself to be, but what I truly am, which is this awareness, is universal. Until proven otherwise. So I cannot convince you of that. I'm just speaking about ways of investigating that can bring you closer experientially and understanding and conceptually to this understanding. Now, at the feeling level, if you close your eyes and try to find any boundaries to your body. For example, try to sense your skin or your face. Where is that sensation appearing? It's appearing in the space of awareness. So when you close your eyes and you try to find a limitation to your body at the sensation level, or even now with your eyes open, if you look at the sensation of your feet on the ground, can you make a distinction? Can you say, okay, this is where my feet are, and this is where the ground is in the sensation? When you look at the sensation, you don't find a foot and you don't find the ground. You need to go to thought to say, yes, there is a foot, and that's my foot, and there is the ground, and my foot is on the ground. But that's conceptual. I'm talking when you go to the actual sensation, you don't find the ground and you don't find a foot. Sometimes you won't even find the sensation. You can't even locate the sensation. So weird. Look at pain, for example. There are some people who have like severe injury. They're in war and they lose an arm and they're tremendous pain. Okay? And an a doctor comes and give them an anesthetic. Just goes pick to the anesthetic. They no longer feel their arm. They don't no longer feel pain. The doctor fixes the cuts and opens and takes saws things and puts pieces of metal in it and drills in the bone. And isn't that amazing? The reality of pain with an injection gone. An injection, something, some chemical things, injected, and the pain is gone. What is the reality of sensation? What is the reality of pain? It's interesting when you start to look at these things. Our material mind becomes less and less material. There is a filter in our mind, which is the belief that reality is physical and everything else is illusion, that consciousness is like thought or mind or a mind state or a rising consciousness or a not rising consciousness. This is, we perceive via this filter. What when we remove the filter? What when we give an anesthetic to the filter, to this belief structure? We don't disappear. Right now, where are your feet? Where is the ground? Where is the back of your head? If you go to the sensation of the back of your head, where do you go? If you go to the sensation of your face, right now, where do you go? What is it? What's appearing? Where is it appearing? What perceives it? But when we start with the belief, I am the body, well, we're screwed. I mean, we already have defined what we are. Okay. Then whatever happens to the body is happening to us. Oh my God, I'm losing weight, I'm gaining weight, and my hair is getting white. Oh my goodness, I'm getting because we identified with the body. So try to build the muscles and it's good to take care of the body. I'm not saying that, I'm talking about the identification. It's different. You can take care of the body without being identified with the body. The cause of all our suffering is identification, some form of identification. Depression, anger, fear of death, sense of lack, worry about the future, all of that is due to identification. So coming back, just to sum it up, Fernando, not knowing is about not knowing what you are. When I say the body is part of the universe, I'm using metaphors to deconstruct the belief that the body is separate. So I use sometimes some metaphor in a very specific, with a very specific purpose.
Thank you, Magdi.
Okay.